In this video, you will see my mentorship student Sandie and her Hanoverian gelding releasing residual tension during the haltering process, and how this idea of releasing residual tension then trickles down to everything else that you do. Let's have a look. So here in this moment, when we are doing a freeze shot, we have some tension in the pole area, and his body overall is perpendicular to the fence. He is not coming up to Sandie. He's keeping himself a little bit against the fence. But we have an eye and an ear on us, so that is the first start. But when you see a horse with a high headset like this, often we think that's normal. But the muscles around the pole area have to be engaged to keep the heavy head up there. And that can very well be residual tension, but it can also be temporarily brace and tension against what we're asking our horse to do. And a lot of times with haltering, what we're seeing in horses is that the negative experiences that they have experienced through control and pressure focused training techniques, they now associate that with the process of haltering, because the halter stands for I don't have a choice. I have no free will. I have to do what my human wants me to do, whether I am afraid or not. So let's have a look what happens next. So right here, this is actually quite lovely, right? Sandie gave him a moment. She was just standing there. She gave him the opportunity to actually make connection with her, and that is so important, because when our horse out of free will and free choice connects with us, that means we can move forward. So really nice, friendly, soft expression, no wrinkles around the nose and mouth area, soft eyes, soft ears. But as soon as Sandie is moving the halter, his head is going away and is going a little bit up. And those are those little moments where you can see where your horse is like, uh-oh, there she comes with a halter. I don't think I like that. And we're seeing this kind of bracy response. And it is really important that we don't walk around our horse like on eggshells, where we do everything tentatively, because then we very much look like a predator on approach. But that we're doing things normally, that we're handling the halter, that we're giving our horse the opportunity to see what is happening, and that we also isolate the movement of moving the halter with our thoughts of I want to halter you, because a lot of times just thinking about what's going to happen next is enough pressure for our horse to become concerned, especially a horse that has previously had poor experiences. So right here, Sandie is reassuring Bernie, and she is making sure that he is okay, and she's talking to him, and she's giving him that moment. So right here you can see that his nose went a little bit away. He became really calm and almost a little bit frozen, right? If I would have right now not had the video moving, you would almost think it's a photo. And here she actually waited for Bernie to interact with her again. It is super vital to wait for your horse in a moment like that, to not proceed. Because if my horse takes his or her nose away and his body language tells me, uh-oh, I'm not okay, I'm bracing for what's going to happen next, and I continue with what I wanted to do, I basically tell my horse, your feelings, your feedback, your worry doesn't matter to me. I want to get things done. And that's where we create residual tension, where our horse doesn't find relaxation anymore. So this is really lovely. So right here, Sandie is again proceeding, and you can tell every moment she makes a movement, Bernie's head is actually moving away again. and he's licking and chewing. So licking and chewing always means that we have had some form of brace in order for our horse to let go of the brace and lick and chew. Lick and chewing means not only thinking, licking and chewing also means that our horse is letting go of a brace, which in itself is great, but we always have to understand that brace was happening before our horse was licking and chewing. So right there again, so right here, this is an interesting moment, right? Because he is putting his head down, he is making contact with Sandie, but look what's happened next. So this kind of movement, the head down, but right back up, to me, that is not relaxation. To me, that is like a little bit of an evasive moment where the head goes down and then the head pops back up because the horse thinks they have to. And a lot of times you will see a movement like that in horses that have been taught to put their head down, where it has become a conditioned response, where the head goes down, but the mental state and the emotional state of the horse does not match with the physical action. And that is something that I see a lot in horses, where the horse has been trained to do a physical act, but mentally and emotionally he is not okay with it. She is not okay with it. The mental and emotional state is that of brace tension, stress, worry, and even fear. And so it's very important, just like Sandie is doing here, that we're simply dropping the halter and we're saying, hey, look, if you're not ready, this is okay. I'm happy to wait for you. And what this will help our horse to see is that we are indeed willing to hear him, to see him, to understand him, and to work on his time schedule. And a lot of times what I hear people then say is, oh, I never get things done, or I never get things that I want to do. But that is actually quite the contrary. The more you're taking the time to get your horse on board, the less time it will take, the more your horse feels seen, heard, and understood, the more your horse is willing to cooperate, because by nature, horses want to follow. So when we show up in a way where they feel safe, secure, and confident with us, they will happily follow us and our suggestions. So right here, he's actually moving a little bit away. And we're not telling him that that is wrong, right? We're not trying to catch him. We're not saying, where are you going? In this moment, I know a lot of people will say, oh, you're teaching your horse bad manners. You're teaching him that he can't get away. No, I am showing my horse, you are seen, you are heard, you are understood. I appreciate your feedback. I am happy to adjust my actions, because look what happens next here. It just takes a little moment here where they just need to interact, where Sandie needs to reassure him. And now he is actually for a moment there looking away again. And she's walking away and saying, look, I get it. You're not ready. That's totally okay. Little repositioning of the camera here, right? A little bit head up, a little bit of starey look, a little bit, ears that show some unconfidence. But then the head comes down, the ears become soft. And now look what happens, right? We're giving him the opportunity. There you go. Now he's on his own, making the decision to put the nose in the halter. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to get anything done. It just means that we're taking some time to helping our horse feel heard, seen, and understood. Here we're giving him a little bit of reassurance, we're waiting, and look what happens. Now he's actually moving with Sandie, and he came a little bit too close. And in this moment, it is really important to know that Sandie got to the point where she did not really feel confident anymore to be in her horse's presence, because he was big, he was powerful, and he had learned to use his size against the human, and he had learned to intimidate his human. So here Sandie is simply taking care of herself, describing her personal space, and reminding her horse that he cannot come into her personal space uninvited. And this is something that is very important. As you can see right here, now Sandie is moving towards the paddock. And this is something completely new, because here the horse is actually keeping a nice distance. He is walking with his owner. He's not pulling ahead. He's not staying behind. They're walking together. And I just added a little testimonial here at the end, what this means for Sandie.
This is really, like, I could never lead him like this before. And I think it quits here, but he comes right up to the gate again, and then I helicopter him back, and he waits. He just stands and waits, and I go into his space to give him his oats. Couldn't do that before.
So right here, this is again really important to know. Sandie was not able to lead her horse in a way that she felt comfortable. She also was not able to step in the paddock and give her horse his food without feeling intimidated, because he basically said, hand over the food and nobody gets hurt. And these are the things that we want to work on first and foremost. And this is the foundation that we will be working on to then layer and stack experiences on top of a solid foundation. Everything that you do in the round pen or in the arena, out on the trail, will rely on having a solid foundation with a happy horse inventory. The 10 tasks that you do on a daily basis, where your horse will see whether you can set healthy boundaries, whether you are willing to see his mini and micro thresholds, where your horse will see that you care about his mental and emotional and physical state, that you're looking for relaxation, that you're willing to go back to relaxation as necessary to finish your time with your horse in relaxation. And last but not least, that we're working on softness with lightness instead of escalating phases and pressure.